What's good, everybody? How y'all doing out there? I just wanted to jump on here real quick, man, because we're talking about what's going on here in America with the attack on the middle class. We're talking about what's going on with Donald Trump and Elon Musk and Doge and all these layoffs and, the effects of that. And I was just thinking, because, I like history, and I was thinking of the phrase, let them eat cake, right? And for those who don't know what I'm talking about, that phrase is a reference to Marie Antoinette, Queen of France. And that was her response when she was told that the people, the regular people, have no bread to eat. There's no more bread. She says, well, then let them eat cake. Now, historians will tell you that has not been proven. In fact, most historians, if I'm not mistaken, believe that she didn't say that. Some say it was propaganda to stoke the fires of revolution. Some say it was a translation mistake. But history uses that as an example of the elite being out of touch with regular folks. And you look at what's going on now with Doge and eliminating government jobs. You got Mr. Elite himself, Elon Musk, the wealthiest man on the planet, Donald Trump, a billionaire, and they're like, we're going to cut government. And you will hear numbers, I've heard percentages thrown out there, 70% of government they want to just get rid of. And you take into consideration that the United States government is the number one employer of Americans in America. And you also take into consideration about 106,000 or so is the average salary that's being cut. That's going to cause havoc amongst regular people. Now, of course, I'm not saying that Elon Musk or Donald Trump has made that statement. They haven't said let them eat cake, but there are Republican elected officials out there urging Elon Musk to have compassion. You see, the elected officials, they're getting the phone calls, they're getting the emails, right? The Republicans, they're dealing with the fallout. Trump is just going full steam ahead, sending tweets to Elon Musk like, go harder, you ain't going hard enough. Elon Musk is responding. This is on X, on Twitter, you know what I mean? Elon Musk is responding, will do. I mean, how can you go any harder? I think the modest estimate so far is over 200,000 people have lost their jobs. Over 200,000. Right, think about it. There are only about 2.4 million government jobs out there. And let's say that their goal is to eliminate 50%. Right? That's right. 1.2 million jobs. Well over 200,000 jobs are gone already. If they keep up at this pace, yeah, there'll be over 1 million jobs gone within 3 months. And that's going to lead to all sorts of pain. People are not going to be able to pay their bills. There's only so much credit they're going to be able to get. They're going to run up all of their credit. They know they're going to declare bankruptcy, so they're going to get as many credit cards as they can, run their credit up, try to stay in their homes as long as they can. Most people making that kind of money have two cars, right? You're going to be married. One person is making about 110,000. The other person is making about 60 or 70,000. They have a lifestyle. Most people look at it and be like, oh, that's pretty good. This is why people think we have a middle class. But what they don't realize is everything they see, the house, the car, the clothes, all the toys, the trinkets, all that, it's financed. It's all financed. Our economy runs on debt, and there's no more debt to be had. It's no more debts, no more credit. It's going to be extended. Interest rates are not going to come down anytime soon, people. And if they do, inflation is going to go even higher. Right now, inflation is at 3% and climbing. You drop interest rates down to 2%, and inflation is going to shoot through the roof. This is the beginning. It's starting, right? It's starting. I don't think that the MAGA folks realize how entrenched government is. And yeah, there's a lot of waste, fraud, and abuse within the system. But you need to take a scalpel and go in with a plan and cut away those things that are not needed and save a couple dollars here, a couple dollars there. You don't go in with a battle axe just swinging away like Conan. And if you do go in that way, it's going to be carnage. It's going to be carnage. So I wonder what the MAGA folks are going to do when these job cuts finally hit home with them. You don't have to be a government employee to feel the pain that's being caused right now. It's coming. It's coming. Friday, Wall Street closed down over 700 points, right? The wealthiest people on the planet are pulling their money out of the S&P 500. They're pulling their money out of the stock market. Right? And they're all sitting on cash. What do they know? Right? You look at the Wall Street and the hedge funds. They were out there buying single family homes, renting them out to people. They're starting to sell those properties in certain markets. They're selling those properties. Look at markets like Florida. Look at markets in Texas, California. They're selling those properties. They're selling them at a loss. So couple that with the fact that you're going to have people who just lost their jobs from the federal government going to be looking to sell their home because they know they can't keep it in a market that's experiencing a downturn. The downturn can be because of the hedge fund guys. The downturn can be because of the storms and the insurance crisis that's still raging right now. People can't get coverage here in Florida. People who wore coverage and their homes were damaged because of the storms, they're not receiving their payouts. Look what happened in California with the fires, right? Think about the auto market, cars. Look it up, guys. Look it up. Dealers are stuck with all these cars, brand new cars. They can't move. They can't move these cars. This is all starting to happen. It's not just a perfect storm, guys. It's a super storm. This is coming. Now, if you watch my content, I've talked about this before. I talk about everything. Talk about aviation, talk about air traffic control, talk about dating. I talk about male issues. We talk about all sorts of stuff, man. I even got an episode where I had an interview with a guy who's like a medieval MMA guy. They actually put on suits of armor and stuff, and they, beat each other up. It's a real sport. It's a worldwide sport. So we talk about everything over here. It's not just finance, or it's not just dating, or it's not just whatever. But I was talking about this sort of stuff. It's like, hey man, it's coming. It's what's gonna happen if it hits. And it's all hit now. And one of the things that I was speaking on was, I believe that this downturn is going to be a really bad recession, but not quite a depression. It will be worse than the Great Recession, but it'll fall short of the Great Depression. But now I don't know. I don't know how bad this will be. I don't know. I never thought in a million years that we would have a US president that will bring in the richest man in the world and gut the American social safety net. I didn't think that would happen. There are more restrictions now for people who need assistance with food, like with food stamps and stuff like that. They're gonna gut those programs that were giving people money so they can, take care of their child care needs. And it goes on and on and on and on. People don't realize how bad it is for the average American out here. Even if you're making six figures, most people who make six figures are still paycheck to paycheck. But the average individual salary in America is somewhere around between 65, 69,000, somewhere in there. I think that's the median, right? Let's call it 70,000. $70,000. What can you do with $70,000 a year? You could barely take care of yourself. Rent alone is going to be anywhere from $1,500 to $2,300. Like, if you can get a mortgage, you're going to need probably 20%. But let's say you get an FHA or whatever, FHA loan, you're going to need 3 to 5%. On a property is going to be somewhere around $400,000. The math don't add up. So what do we do? What's the fix? What's the cure? Yo, DL, what are you talking about? What are we going to do? There's nothing really to be done. Sit back, strap in, cut your expenses, track every dollar you spend, see if you can save money. I would say go get another job, but the vast majority of Americans are already working. They already have full-time jobs. They already have side hustles, and they're also, they're doing Uber Eats and DoorDash and driving Uber, and they're doing all this other stuff. You got a president coming in here talking about tariffs. People, I need to understand, a tariff is a tax. And that tax is going to be paid by you. Simple as that. Other countries aren't paying the tariff. Other countries aren't making you rich. You got to pay that. This is why things cost more money. Inflation and tariffs, among other things. So guys, if you're a MAGA person, this is real, guys. This isn't a football game. This isn't the World Series or the Super Bowl or the finals. This isn't that. This is real. Like, Donald Trump is not going to be hurt by this. Elon Musk is not going to be hurt by this. Any of the 1%ers out there, the multi-millionaires, are not going to be hurt by this. Their net worth might go up or down 15, 20%. It doesn't matter. You think a guy who is worth $300 million cares about losing 30% of his wealth? He doesn't care. Right? Would he even notice that? Real talk. But if you lose 30% of your wealth, you're going to notice that right away. You're talking about people who are losing 100% of their income. Gone, just like that. So what do you do? I don't know. It's already a tough job market. If you lost your job making $100,000, I promise you're going to have a very difficult time finding a job making $100,000. You guys know that. How long did it take you to get that position? You got hired on and they had to work your way up. How many years did that take? So now you're going to have to go out here and start over. And guess what? You're competing with not just the people who are already in the job market looking for stuff, but with all the other government employees. Over 200,000 of y'all at the time of filming. And that number is going to go up. Starting tomorrow, they're looking at Department of Defense. They're looking at the Department of Education. It's going to go up. And what's the tactic? Anyone who's probationary, gone. And now Elon Musk put out this email. Everyone has to check in and send an email stating what they have done over the past 5 days. What happens if you don't send that email? Is that grounds for termination? Can they wait for you not to send 3 or 4 emails? That's 3 or 4 weeks. Track that and then say, hey, now you're gone. Now the FBI is pushing back. Department of Defense is pushing back. Some other department heads within government are pushing back, telling the employees you don't have to do that. Don't worry about that. What's going to happen next? I don't know. Who is actually pulling the trigger on these firings? Is it Elon Musk? Can't be. This has to be coming from the White House. But no one can seem to get an answer. So I just wanted to throw that out there, guys. I was out doing some things and, it's a little chilly down here in Florida. It's chilly for Florida. It's not cold. I'm from Ohio. I know what cold is. But for Florida, it gets below 60 degrees, bro, and they're in the 60-degree mark, people were like, oh. So I was out and about, was thinking about this, and I just wanted to jump in real quick. Normally I do this in the car, but it's nighttime here. You wouldn't have been able to see me. So I just want to get those thoughts out there. It's crazy times. If you're a Trumper, just understand this is what you voted for. If you've had a change of heart, and you will soon, if you haven't already, right? You will soon. It is what it is. What can you do about it? Man, talk to your neighbors, talk to your family, talk to your friends, try to figure out a strategy, try to figure out a way to make amends. Try to figure it out. And then, there's a midterm election, 2 years, go out there and let your voice be heard. I'll be telling, there's a lot of rah-rah MAGA people out there like, there's not going to be a blue wave. It's going to be a blue tsunami, bro. Why? Because this is hitting people where they live, man. It's hitting them in their pocketbooks. They can't afford their homes. They can't afford to live in the neighborhoods they want to. They can't afford to do good things for their kids. They can't afford to give them the clothes they want, take the trips they want. Their money is gone, bro. Their money is gone. Once somebody take your money, man, forget about politics. It's all about you and your family. So yeah, it's going to be a blue tsunami, bro. This is going to affect all sorts of people. There are already emails out there. You'll see them YouTube and on the internet where people are sending emails and writing letters to the White House. Mr. Trump, I'm one of your most loyal supporters. I voted for you 3 times, and surely there was a mistake. You don't want to fire me. I'm a hardworking American. I'm not like those DEI people. Says the white lady who was hired because she's a white lady. You're part of the DEI program, love. And Trump ain't gonna respond to that message. He ain't gonna see that. He don't care. He got what he wanted from you. He got that vote, right? So what is that person gonna do? How are they gonna vote in 2 years? They're gonna vote for their pocketbook. The Democrats are gonna be out there saying, hey, we're gonna put together this bill to get all those people their jobs back. And if that's a thing, you best believe they're going to be out there supporting them Democrats. So we'll see what happens moving forward. But right now, just prepare yourselves for the worst. Like I said, save as much money as you can. $1 saved is $1 earned. Shout out to Ben Mahler. That's what he says all the time. Look at what you're spending. Watch every dollar. Get your kids on board. Get them to look. Let's, make some sacrifices. Tighten that belt. Prepare yourself for what's coming. Can't even say what's coming. Prepare yourself for what's here. This is what we're dealing with right now. So that's all I got for you guys. Normally, again, I have a whole podcast set up, but I'm still dealing with some issues there. Don't worry, guys. I'll be back up and running here real soon. I will be up and running soon. But I'm like everyone else. I can't just run out and buy another computer. I'm going to have to work every angle before I do that because I'm retired. I don't know if this is going to affect my pension. Think about that, right? Federal employees who are retired. Will this affect our pensions? Don't know. So I'm sitting back and I'm saving as much as I can, and I'm writing down every dime that I spend, and I'm tracking it and doing the best that I can to prepare myself for the worst if it were to happen. So don't worry, I'm gonna get my podcast up and running, guys. There's a lot of good information out there that I can't wait to share with you guys so we can have the video up and running, doing what we normally do, just hang in there with me. And if you're out there, if you've been affected by this gutting of the federal government, get out there and try to find you some work. Get out there ASAP. Try to find you some work. You're gonna go through your savings fast. Right, you're probably gonna go through your TSP. That's the government's 401k. You're probably gonna go through your TSP. You're gonna be paying those penalties. Right, so you're probably looking at maybe putting your house on the market. If you're gonna do that, do it fast. Be the first one get on the market now, and understand you're gonna take a loss. But get out there and work. Don't matter. It just don't matter if you can only find a job paying you $50,000, $60,000. Take it. Just get out there, stop the bleeding and work with your family and your friends and stay focused. Stay focused. Don't worry about the feelings, manage your emotions as best you can. Just, I understand that this is extremely traumatizing. Your world has been turned upside down. And what are you going to do? You got to figure it out. I'm afraid that's the answer. You got to figure it out. And to you elected officials out there, if y'all can talk to Donald Trump or Elon Musk, the only advice I have for you guys is this. You tell them boys, whatever you do, when they ask you about Americans suffering, when they say Americans don't have any bread, make sure that Donald Trump and Elon Musk does not respond with, let them eat cake. We'll talk to you later.